hello, ho. Hey, hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jim. That was beautiful. Jim was playing for like 10 minutes straight. So, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy. Thank you for getting into your cars this evening and driving all the way out here, and here you are. From wherever you came from, I appreciate you. I am Catherine Cespedes. I am your host for this evening, and I'm so honored to be your host. I am known as Cat here at Seaside. I think I'm stuck here, guys. Okay, so we have a wonderful lineup for you this evening. Do you feel hot? Do you feel that powered up? Yeah? Woo. It's partly because I put the heat on, so that's probably why you feel so hot. I will turn it down in a little bit. I am so excited to present to you an artist that's here locally, Carissa Schreider, and she is in a band called Rose's Cantinas. I first saw her here at Seaside on a Sunday, and I remember she was singing Whitney Houston. Like, I was walking around and she was singing Whitney Houston, and whatever I was doing, maybe getting a donut, I have no idea. I had to stop in my track and I was like, who is that? Who is that beautiful voice? And I came in and it was Carissa, and I was like, I need her here on Wednesday, and here she is. So I am so grateful that she said yes, and she is here this evening. So help me give her a warm welcome to Miss Carissa Schreider.
Feeling tonight? You guys doing well? You can clap. We're gonna move a little. All right. Woo! One more time, Jim. Come on, one more time, Jim. Okay. Well, you take whatever you want, and the Spirit, He moves you. You give me something I need. Tell me I got something for you. Now come on, come on, come on, oh Spirit. Come on and do what you do. I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. Well, today the world needs love. I say love between me and you. So don't hang me up in your doorway. Let that Spirit shine through you. And well, come on, let's do it. And come on, yeah, do what you do. I say I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough of your love. All right, Jim. I can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough of your love. And I tell you, and I say it now. I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. Let's sing it one more time now. Say Spirit now. I love you so much, I can't get enough of your love. Say, whoa, I need you so much, I can't get enough of your love. Say, I can't get enough of your love. Take it home now. Whoa, you know I can't get enough of your love.
All right. Yeah, Carissa.
Much appreciated, you guys. Thank you for clapping your hands and bringing the energy.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get enough of you, Carissa. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
right on.
I told you, right? Now you
Yeah.
believe me.
Right on.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Whew. All right. So now I'm feeling really, really hot. I'll really turn off the heat in a little bit. So this is the portion in Power Up where I'm going to have a practitioner really bring it home for us. Audrey Nicole has been with Seaside for a while now, and she is a part of the Next Gen Retreat, and she is also part of the Practitioners Core Council here at Seaside. So she's a big player, and I'm so excited to have her here, to have her play during Power Up with us. So help me give her a warm welcome, Miss Audrey Nicole.
Thank you, Kat. Hello, everybody. It's that praying time of the night. Not that we don't do that all throughout the night, but this time in particular. So if you feel so inclined, please go ahead and close your eyes and settle into your chair. I know we're all vibrating. Well, I can't speak for you necessarily, but I know that I'm vibrating very high after that beautiful song. So let's go ahead and take that energy down into our body, into our bones. Let's feel the ground beneath our feet. You can even tap your feet. Really feeling your body, feeling the ground. Bringing all of your awareness and presence into this moment, right here and right now. Go ahead and set down everything it took to get here, the hustle and the bustle of the day. Anything left undone, it'll be there for you. It is in this moment, in this ever-expanding now, that life is actually happening. Life is happening in and through all things. The way that the bees bumble around and the flowers blossom. The same way that the children play and delight in one another and in life itself. Let us feel the magic of that delight, knowing that that is what we are. Knowing that this creative force that we call God, Mother, Father, Earth, Yahweh, the same stuff that makes the stars, makes each one of us here. I know that since there is only one life, my life is God's life. And as I know that for myself, I know that for each one here. That it is only by magic and pure perfection that each one is here tonight with us, physically in this room and with us online. Through the magic of divine appointment, perfect synchronicity. Each one is here for their own individual reasons. So that tonight, with this beautiful message from Sece, what needs to be said can be said, so that what needs to be heard can be heard. What's ready to be released and healed, allow it to come forward, to come up, to be revealed, to be released. Let us delight in the community that we have here at Seaside, this sacred group of individuals. Each one of us is here tonight for our own unique reason, yet powerful in its own right. Settle even deeper into this moment and ask your heart of hearts, why am I here? What is my intention for this evening? What is most important to me in this moment, right here and right now? Knowing the perfection of each of these things, I'm so grateful for this night, for this time, and for this knowing. And so it is.
was beautiful. So Audra did such a beautiful job in getting us in that mode and going in to find our intentions. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you decided to come this way this evening to be with us and share this beautiful Wednesday night. And this is a space that we get to share this with one another. So during that time, what came up for you? What is your intention for this evening? Family time. Absolutely, James. Peace. Came to the right place. Joy. Expansion. Forgiveness. Openness. Company. Support. Fire came up for me. I'm assuming that's energy. But for all those intentions, said and unsaid, and for all that are watching from home, together we say, and so it is. Okay, so I'm just really excited. Every time Cece comes, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get something good this evening. So every time I'm here on a Wednesday night, I know it's gonna be good. And I'm always psyched, and I'm always this excited. Like, if you haven't been to a Wednesday night, this is me every Wednesday. But Cece is just, she really, does such a wonderful job at starting with a message and then just bringing it around and, getting to the point. And you're like, life-changing, that aha moment. She is a speaker. She is a musician. She traveled all the way from Temecula to be here this evening, and I feel so blessed to have been able to create a relationship with her through Wednesday Night Power Up. I remember I asked her one time, I called her, and I didn't know how to say her name, and I was like, Cece? And she was like, this is Cece. I was like, yes, Cece, could you please come to Wednesday night? And right then and there, with no hesitation, she was like, okay. And I was like, okay, we have a speaker. And I didn't know at that time how much I would transform and evolve in one evening. So help me give her a warm welcome, because you're in for a treat this evening, for Sece Foster.
Thank you, Kat. The pressure is on after that, right? Oh my God. So it's good to be here. Power Up Wednesday is always a fun time for me, and I just really love you guys. Seriously, it's always such a good feeling to walk into this room, and everyone is just so kind and joyful and ready to connect from that place of the heart. So again, it's just always good to be here. So it's interesting. Well, before I go down that road, I do want to do a special shout out. My wife is here tonight. You guys, you've heard me talk about her before. Kimberly, yes. My grandson, Leon, yes. And our dear friend Sue drove all the way down from Orange County. So thank you guys for coming here to see me do my thing. I appreciate you so much. So it's interesting, as I heard the intentions going this evening, this month's theme is about wisdom. And so if you were to ask the universe, if you knew right now that you could ask the universe for anything, any sort of thing or attribute to yourself, what would that be? If you knew that the universe would say, yes, it is yours, what would you ask for? Let's bring that into your mind. So if you could have one wish granted, I'm going to ask just for a show of hands, did anybody ask for wisdom? That's what I thought. That's what I thought, right? I mean, it was actually really interesting putting together this talk, because I'm like, last time I was here a couple weeks ago, we were talking about joy, and I was like, oh man, that talk flowed so good. And then this one was like, wisdom. I mean, we all value it, right? We we notice it in others. We notice it in ourselves sometimes. And yet, I realize for myself, and I also realize as a practitioner, people come to me all the time and ask for a prayer, and usually the request is peace or wholeness, if they have something going on with the body, love, abundance. But rarely have I ever had the request for wisdom, or sometimes it can be said as divine guidance. So it was with that trepidation that I came into this talk. It's like, oh, wow, it's like, will wisdom resonate with people? So I went on a little journey online to find out some things that resonated with me, because I know if I feel it, you'll feel it. So I did find something. So yay. Yeah, I think it'll be a good talk. So one of the stories that I found was kind of talks to that idea of asking the universe. There's a story in the Bible where King Solomon had an experience with God, where God came and said, Solomon, I'll give you anything you want. What would you ask for? And Solomon's reply was wisdom. Apparently, God was so impressed with that request that he said, not only will you have wisdom, but you'll have great riches, you'll have great power. Because truly, I believe the reason for that story and the reason that the divine presence blessed him in those ways was because he asked for something that we don't always ask for, but it is essential. And when I speak of being essential, that means it's absolutely necessary, right? When we look at the definition of essential, well, that means it's absolutely vital for each of us in order for us to navigate the human experience individually and collectively. It's what helps us to make choices that are in our highest good and for the highest good of people around us, life around us. That's wisdom. And the deeper I went into this, my research into it, I found something that really resonated with me, because when I think of wisdom, I think of intuition. And intuition is an attribute of wisdom. And in my practitioner training, that's really where that lit up for me. That's all about, you kind of have to have that turned on if you're sitting with people, because there is this, you get prayed up and you have this inner wisdom that you have flowing, and it's directly from the divine. It's not us, but when we connect to it, it guides us to ask the perfect question. It guides us in the moment when someone just needs to be heard and loved. And that is what I want to explore this evening, is intuition. And I found this great article online which broke down intuition into 4 levels. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing to share with you, because for me, it brought a lot of insight. It brought a deeper meaning of intuition, of wisdom for me. And for sure, I think, and my hope is by the end of this talk, what's been communicated, what's been said, will give each of us an even deeper appreciation for this divine birthright that we call wisdom, and a greater awareness to actually seek that out in our spiritual practices. So let's explore the 4 levels of intuition. So level 1, this is gut instinct. And the attributes of this are safety, security, and survival. Anybody here have a moment in their life where they actually had this gut instinct come into play? Most of us can relate to that, right? And sometimes it can be really powerful, especially when you are in a very dangerous situation. I remember, I think it was the summer of 82 or 83. I was 15 years old. My sister was like 11, and we were spending the summer with my grandparents, and they lived in Glendale, Oregon, which is population 800. They lived in the country, so back then, there was nothing to do. We were bored. So we decided we were gonna go for a walk, more like a hike, really. So we hiked down to the railroad tracks, which, we were not supposed to do that, but we did, and we were having a good time. We were picking wild blackberries. This is the Pacific Northwest, so they're abundant. It was a beautiful day, maybe 75 degrees, and we're having a great time. And we decided, we're tired of this. Let's go back. And we started walking back, and we come around a bend in the road, in the tracks. And as soon as we came around that bend, there were two male figures. They were about 50 yards away. And I took a few steps, and something just made me stop. And then that gut instinct, it said, run. And so we ran. And they gave chase. And we ended up, I went back around the bend that we came through earlier, and I knew something inside of me, that intelligence inside of me, knew that they would lose sight of us for maybe a second. So I took my sister, we went down an embankment about 20 feet and hid. And we watched as they searched for us in the brush for about 30 minutes. That was one of the times in my life where I absolutely knew that there was a power greater than me that lived in me, that guided me. And it was an experience that I would never forget. It's very much in my cellular body, and the gratitude I felt after that. And then we have another level of intuition, which is called heart-based intelligence. And the attributes of heart-based intelligence are courage, compassion, and communication. So for me, again, I can kind of relate this to my own experience. The deeper I've gone in my spiritual awakening, most certainly there's been more courage. The fact that I'm standing here in front of you speaks to that. 5 years ago, I probably couldn't have imagined it. I could dream of it, but would I have had the courage to do it? No. But in the walk, in that spiritual walk, I have tapped into a level of courage that I never knew I had. And then compassion, to be able to really, even when I see the news and I see, we have the villains, right, that do things. And I find myself even now having compassion, knowing that whatever they did, they were hurting. So that's a natural response in me now. I don't rush to judgment right away anymore. So there's this level of compassion that is developed within me that has affected my whole life in a really powerful and positive way. And with communication, it really is a good skill to have when we're in relationship with others, and how to communicate, when to let something go, when to be silent, when to speak your truth, right? So I know from my own experience that these levels, what this person is saying in the article and their research, it makes sense to me. To me, the level 2 really speaks of an ever-increasing ability to love, to really love ourselves, to really love one another, and to really love God, the universe, the divine spirit, life, whatever you want to call that. To have this relationship with the one that is centered in a deep appreciation and reciprocity. Ernest Holmes has a quote that speaks to this. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy, says, "I believe that love is at the center of everything. Therefore, I accept love as a healing power of life. I permit love to reach out from me to every person I meet. I believe that love is returned to me from every person I meet. I trust the guidance of love because I believe it is the power of good in the universe. I feel that love is flowing through me to heal every situation I meet, to help every person I contact. Love opens the way before me and makes it perfect, straight and glad. Love forgives everything unlike itself. It purifies everything. Love converts everything that seems commonplace into that which is wonderful. Love converts weakness into strength, fear into faith. Love. For me, that quote is powerful, and it definitely speaks to this level 2, this heart-based intelligence. And in level 3 of intuition, we have what's called visionary power. And the attributes of that are imagination, visionary certainty, and creative possibility. So at this level, we really move out of this place of playing small. We begin to see that there is a power bigger than us that is flowing through us. And when we connect with it, when we allow it, all things are possible. So if we can imagine it, if we can envision it, we know that there's a way to bring it into form. And this is a very powerful place to be. It takes us from that place of, again, that smallness into this true expression of what we were meant to be. We all know what that is inside. Sometimes we ignore it. Sometimes we hide and pretend it isn't there. But it's always calling, right? It's always saying, fly, you can do it. And then we have the level 4, is the connection to universal wisdom. And the attributes of that are universal awareness and unity consciousness. So this intelligence, is often activated in a deep meditation. Anybody here a regular meditator? Okay, are they always really deep? No. But once in a while, you can have that experience where you really get this experience and this embodiment of oneness. One of the other ways that people can tap into this level of awareness is having a near-death experience, where you have this wide view of life and it's all connected. When you hear people speak of that stuff fascinates me. When I hear people talk of that experience, it's like you can tell, and there's a shift in them, right? From before and after, there's a shift because there's a knowing that there's one, and we're all a part of it. And some people even have that experience in other ways, plant medicine, ayahuasca, whatever, but this level of awareness is achievable. And through our spiritual practices, and it's an intention that we set to go deep and to really embody it, because we speak of oneness a lot. And in the human experience, sometimes we lose sight of that. We feel separate, right? So this is the beauty and the multifaceted parts of wisdom. And we're just talking about intuition here. So now, not saying that you would ask for that, but does it seem a little bit more appealing now that you've explored it a little bit? If you ask the universe for one thing, you might choose wisdom, right? It might come into your awareness. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to this, is like this desire to want to explore that, ask for that in our prayers. If you pray, it's like, let me be divinely guided. Let me be wise. Let me know when love is needed, when I need to be compassionate. Guide me in this situation. Call in the one. So that's my intention here, is like to really, in writing this talk, the gift was that I saw a deeper meaning for me. Wisdom is one of those things that we talk about, but for me personally, I haven't dived into it and looked at my own my own understanding of it and my own desire to have more of it. And so that's what this did for me, is diving into this a little bit more. And I'm hoping that that also resonates with each of you on some level. So how do we cultivate it? You know what I'm going to say, right? What am I going to say? No, spiritual practice, yeah. So spiritual practice is one of the ways that we do this. Obviously our life experiences are a part of it too. When we go through something difficult, we learn from it, right? But when I talk about cultivating, this is our mindfulness every day. It's like, how can we cultivate more intuition, more wisdom into our experience? So the practice of meditation and prayer is crucial. As we deepen our dance with the divine, our intuition and wisdom begin to expand. I know this for sure, because I've walked it. And I know that each of you know it too, because if you're here, you're already on a path. You've had growth, you've had some awakening. Are you the same person now that you were 20 years ago? You do things differently now, right? Because we're wiser, we're on the path. So that's how we cultivate it, and we want to go deeper into that. That's one of the ways we do it. And one of the other ways I feel is surrender. Really trusting in the divine presence and surrendering this idea that we have to do it all. So we're looking at those other levels of intuition, the imagination, the courage. In all that, there is this trust that there is this power that we have access to. That when we surrender into it, when we stop thinking, oh, I got to do that, or imagine having this great vision for yourself, and I know I've done this. Maybe, I'm sure some of you can relate to this, so you have a vision of something big, and then it freaks you out, because you think, I got to do that. Well, the truth is when we go into our practice and when we really connect with that power, we know that we're not really the ones doing it. As long as we're open to it, this power, this flow will grant our desires. We just need to keep our hearts open, our minds open, and listen to what's next. And the other thing to surrender, I think, in deepening in wisdom is judgment. The judgment we have of ourselves and others. That brings us down, right? I notice this in me is like whenever I have a judgy moment, I feel not as great, It's like, what's a word for it? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I feel a little dirty, when I do that, because it's like, it's not love. So again, it really comes back down to this real heart space of love. And that gets more and more powerful in our experience as we make our dance with the divine our first priority. Because it's from there that the blessings and the grace and the beauty and the love and the peace that we desire flows. So that is my wish for all of us. And so it is. Thank you.
Red lights are flashing on the highway. Wonder if we're gonna ever get home. Wonder if we're gonna ever get home tonight. Everywhere the water's getting rough. Your best intentions may not be enough. I wonder if we're gonna ever get home tonight. If you break down stay by you when it don't come easy, when it don't come easy. I don't know nothing except change will come. Year after year, what we do is undone. And time keeps moving from a crawl to a run. And wonder if we're gonna ever get home. And you're out there walking down a highway. All the signs got blown away. And sometimes you wonder if you're moving in the wrong direction. If you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. I'll stay by you when it don't come easy, when it don't come easy. So many things we had before don't matter to me now. Tonight I cry for the love I've lost and the love I've never found. When the last bird falls, when the last siren sounds, someone will say what's been said before. It's only love we're looking for. And if you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. I'll stay by you when it don't come easy. Ooh, when it don't come easy. Ooh.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to be, may I say a quick thing? I have to be honest with you, and I apologize for stepping out while you were speaking, but I don't know if any of you have ever tried to sing when you're crying. It's really impossible. Like literally it physically impedes the ability to do it. And when I step in this room, there is such a lovely energy and such a beautiful presence here that I am so moved. So I had to excuse myself to be able to sing, and now I'm going to sit in the corner and cry in a great way. So thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable with us. And that's what's so beautiful about being here on a Wednesday, on a Sunday, is that this is where you start like cracking open. This is where you start, where you allow yourself to be open and to receive. And it's okay because we're all feeling that same way. We're all expressing it differently, but we're all feeling the same way. And that's what Power Up is for. And that's what Seaside is for. So yes. This is the space and the time where we opened it up for questions. We're going to do things a little bit different. I know that there are people watching online. Thank you, Audra, for responding. Daniel, who is watching. We have Lori Gertz. We have Karen Copeland. We have Mom. I know you're watching. And let's see, who else? There's someone, Daniela from Oklahoma, Kevin from Ithaca, New York. We have New York, we have Florida. Last week I saw someone from Paris that was tuning in. So if you're tuning in this Wednesday, hello. This is the time, if you're watching from home, that you take out your pencil and you take out your paper, because we're going to have the people here look to the person to your left or to your right and let them know what you received in this talk. And if there's no one sitting to your left or to your right, there's probably someone sitting behind you or in front of you where you can open up this conversation. It could be in teams of 3, it could be in teams of 2. We're going to open this up so that you guys can have a conversation, and if you're home, you can write this down, so we'll give you about a minute to do that. I feel the power. Hello. If you are watching online, please let us know what your questions are. Audra is multitasking over here as the wonderful practitioner that she is. So let us know what your questions are, and if we have time, we'll come around and we'll do that. If not, then we'll definitely talk to you after. And for those of you who are here, who wants to share, who wants to talk to Cece, I'm coming down with the mic, and it is now open to the floor. James wants to wave to my mom, so. Hey, Ma! Okay, so I know that you guys had some time to talk with each other. How did that feel? Right? Yeah. So is there anything that anyone wants to share in any of the groups? Or if there's anything online, Audra, you let me know.
Yeah, hi. This is my first time on a Wednesday night. I just moved back to Encinitas, so I'm a little shaky about this, but I just so much appreciated your courage. I mean, just to step out and start talking about a concept, I mean, a word, you know, that concept. But what struck home for me is that you really did research and you really made this your, you know, I mean, like your homework assignment in a way, and that, and the storytelling, it all just, like you said, it all flowed together, and I appreciate that you shared what you learned with us, because it helped. So.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome to Encinitas.
Yes.
Does anybody else have anything to share? I'm coming. Oh, yes! I've been waiting for you to talk for so long, girl.
She's like,
Hi. For me, thank you for all of that, by the way. For me personally, I think that wisdom is found in, you mentioned it, listening. And when we can sit in a place where we can listen to not only what we want to hear or what we believe in or what we value, but the opposite of that. So what we don't agree with, what we don't believe in, what we don't value. I think that that's true wisdom when we can sit in that place, like you said, without judgment, which is very hard. We talked about that in a way. But overall, just listening, and wisdom came before knowledge, so thank you for that.
thank you.
Do we have anyone online? No? We'll get you. Okay, so I think we have enough time for one more question. If you want to share it with Cece. We've had a lot of comments, so thank you. Yeah. It is a Q&A. It's a comments section. It's whatever it is that you need it to be.
I need some wisdom about how to keep your wisdom, your compassion, your openness when somebody does not want you to have it and is actively against it and pushing and you want to stay in your space. You know your space. You know your peace. And your intuition knows everything that's going to happen. You're not thinking it. Patterns, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so I need to stay in all of that.
Is the question on how you stay in this place of wisdom when confronted with sounds like a tumultuous kind of a relationship with someone who's very important to you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that really comes again with our deep work, with the deep work and these people that come into our lives that are so challenging, these are our deepest lessons, right? Is so to change maybe how you're seeing them as a teacher, as the way to open your heart to get to, because if God loves all of us, right? And that's whether you're evil or good or whatever, but there's still this love because we're all emanations. So I think this is your challenge, right? This person is your challenge. So to reframe that in your mind a little bit, to see it as, this is my teacher. This is my teacher on how to love unconditionally. So what do I need to let go of? What do I need to surrender? What judgment do I need to let go of? Right? And so this is your work, and you can take that into your practice and see a practitioner, because sometimes those things are hard when we're doing it ourselves, because we have our own patterns and our own stuff, right? And it's so it's a little tricky, and sometimes someone else can see that truth for you and ask you a question that will send a light bulb off that will completely get that pattern dissolved. So that's, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So to all who asked the question, who made your comments, who spoke up this evening, thank you for sharing and thank you for being here and thank you for your courage. Like C said, we do have practitioners here. We have Deb who's holding the light. We have Cece who's here. We have Audra who's here. We have Tim who's here. So if you need a practitioner afterwards, and I know there's some more in the audience, so if you need someone to talk to, just, pull them aside and they'll give you a prayer, and it makes the world of a difference. With that being said, Cece will let us know how to use this wisdom and how to apply it in her call to action.
So the call to action, I think it's kind of, everybody kind of feels what needs to happen now, right? And so this is just it. It's come into our awareness. So in your practice is open to that. Like I said, most of us, I can speak for myself, but the fact that never came up at all this evening as intention, it's like, okay, put your intention on wisdom, that divine guidance, heart opening. You listen to all the different levels of intuition. So to ask the universal presence for what it is that you need wisdom for, what it is you need to release, and what it is you need to step into in order to be that highest expression of yourself and of this life. That's the call to action. So with that, I'd like to anchor this in a prayer. I'll invite everybody to just go within, breathing in the light and the power and the love that has been so perfectly established in this space tonight. Knowing that there is one power, one presence, one creative force that has breathed all things into being and is the eternal lover, sustainer, and guiding force for all that there is. And I know I'm one with that I am an emanation of this perfect power, this perfect love. And I know that this is true for everyone that is in this sanctuary, everyone that is hearing my voice online, that we each and all are individualization of this divine presence, this love, this power. And so what I know for each of us is that we move from this moment with a greater awareness of the wisdom that is here and now present, that is always guiding us. I know that each is guided to their perfect path, to reveal the wholeness, to reveal the truth, to reveal the peace and the power and the beauty of the life that is meant for each and for all. This life of joy and peace and creative expression and power and connection and beauty. I call this forth right here in this moment, knowing that it is felt, it is heard across the universe, and it is coming into being for everyone here tonight, everyone online. And so for this, I just give thanks to speak this word, to know the truth, and to claim it. And with that, I just give thanks, and I release it now, and know that it is done. And so it is.
Thank you, Cece. So at this time, I would like to call forward all the ushers. This is where we give thanks to this center for this space to have these evenings that we get together and have such a wonderful speaker, have such a wonderful message, and be able to shift. Because I'm pretty sure, I feel it, I've been out there. You came in feeling one way, you feel completely different now. And I'm gonna have Cece do a blessing for us.
I am just so grateful for this energy that is flowing as these financial gifts, knowing that it goes forth in this community to bless everyone that is a part of it, to bless the world with the light and the love and the beauty that is Seaside. And so I simply bless this time together, blessing this gift, this financial energy that is so abundantly flowing. And so it is.
Together we bring our gifts to our hearts and repeat the affirmation together. This
The
gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in gratitude for all the good in my life. And so it is.
This gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in gratitude for all the good in my life. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Jim. Right, Jim is awesome.
Thank you. Thanks.
So this is the space where I get to say thank you. Thank you for each individual person sitting in these seats this evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing for sharing your consciousness, for sharing your smiles, for sharing your story, for sharing yourselves. I'm so honored to be here and to feel that. Every Wednesday, I know that I am moved and transformed, and it's because of you. You make Power Up the service that it is. So thank you. And if this is your first time, thank you for being here. And if it isn't your first time, I know who you are. Thank you for being here. If you're watching online, thank you. We feel your consciousness. Keep talking to Audra. She is here. Thank you so much, Melanie, who has been doing the sound and the visuals for us this evening. And whose idea it was to turn to your neighbor and talk to them. That was her idea. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Tim, who's always here every Wednesday. He does our live stream. He puts everything together. He is the engineer who puts Power Up on the map. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Gregory, who is behind the camera, and it's because of him that you can see me now if you're at home. So hello, and thank you, Gregory. Ginny, she's finally here when I say thank you. Give a round of applause to Ginny. She is our coordinator for Wednesday night. Every time I say thank you, she's like around the building somewhere. And Dennis, who is always here Wednesday night. They are a couple who genuinely, I thank you for your time and for your patience. So thank you so much. Dennis, now Dennis is missing. Deb Sadler, who has been quietly holding the space for us this entire evening in the corner. Thank you so much, Deb Sadler, for being here this evening and being a part of Wednesday night. And then we have Mr. Jim Bianchi, who puts the music together for us. Thank you, Jim.
Wow, thank you, Kat.
For your beautiful music and for being here, for helping. You have been such a help for me.
Yay.
Oh, my goodness.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Another one. You don't understand, guys.
Thank you.
And then we have Carissa. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. They wouldn't let me talk. They just started clapping. I wanted to say so much more. And then we have Tracy. Thank you so much, Tracy, who helps me put together the PowerPoints, put together the programs that you have in your hand, and helps me every Wednesday, and her husband, Dan. Thank you guys so much. And then, of course, we have Cece, who... Every time, guys. I don't even know what to say. She's just amazing. Every time I see her, every time she speaks, something is moved. So thank you for saying yes, and thank you for being a part of Wednesday night.
Yeah.
At this point, I will ask Audra to come up on stage. And at this point, I really want you to give a loud round of applause to yourselves. Thank you.
And to you. And to Kat.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we have our congregational song. So I'm going to invite Carissa over. Do you have your merchandise here this evening? All right. So see Carissa after. We will be in the family room. Everyone stand up for our congregational song.
If you guys know this one, please sing along. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light of joy. I am the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. We are the light of love.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for being here. We will be in the family room. Please talk to us. We're cool people. There's cookies and tea. And have a good evening.
We are the power. We are powered up. We are ready. We have the power to be the change that we seek in the world, because we are the power. We are powered up. We are ready. We have the power to be the change that we see in the world. We want to see in. We want to be free in. We are the power. We are the one. We are the one. We have the power. We are powered up. We have the power. We are powered up. We are powered up. We are powered up. All right, thank you.